In this video, we explore the office building next to Tower Gateway DLR station. Let's go and explore it. So we go inside this building and the building is completely empty. Everything in the building has been stripped. This building had 8 lifts, but now sadly only 2 lifts remain. One of the lifts is a small little generic Leicester Controls lift. This lift is actually fairly recently installed, but a building has already become derelict and stripped. What a waste of money installing that lift was. And now let's walk upstairs in this building. To walk up to about halfway and let's carry on taking a look around the building. All of the floors are identical and they are all completely, utterly empty and stripped. And now we go along to where the main lifts were. This building had 6 main lifts originally, and all of these lifts have been removed and there's nothing remaining of these lifts. So then, we continue up this building and we go up to the top floor. Let's now take a look at the second lift in the building, which is still intact. This one is a larger generic Leicester Controls lift. And this is what it looks like in the lift shaft. Let's now walk up the stairs to the roof. Let's explore the roof of this building, and we first go into the motor room of the smaller Leicester Controls lift. Turns out it isn't actually a motor room, but it's actually just the top wheel room. This lift is actually a bottom drive lift. And we take a look in the top room of the larger Leicester Controls lift, and this one's also just a wheel room. This one is also bottom drive. We now go up the ladder to the upper roof, and from here let's take a look at the view.
A picture. Like there with the shard in the picture.
And taking a look down at Tower Gateway DLR station and Fenchurch Street C2C station, we can see there are some workers on the track. And now we go along to the top rooms of the 6 main lifts. This room is probably most likely just a wheel room again, as these ones are probably also bottom drive, but there's no equipment remaining in the 6 main lifts. Everything has gone. Let's now take a look at the big atrium in the middle of the building. And before we take a look at the inside of the atrium, let's climb up and take a look on the roof above the atrium glass. And this window cleaner platform is very wobbly. Let's now go down inside the building and take a look at the atrium on the inside. And this is what it looks like. On the inside of the glass there's also another window cleaning platform. Let's go and take a look at it. And from here we get a really good view of the atrium.
Less people chill up there.
Flashing. Flashy torch. This torch keeps turning off. Luckily not in a mine or something more serious.
Well, that comes in handy.
Oh yes.
We now go down the stairs, down to the first floor, and take a look on top of the 2 lifts, which are currently parked on the ground floor.
So floor 1, we've got the bigger lift. It's currently sitting on the ground floor. It's Leicester Controls recent mod. Look at it, it's got Leicester's 2D barcode. That is a very recent mod. Leicester Inspection Control. Very dusty, but that's not long modernised. And the smaller lift is also on ground floor.
We now go downstairs, down to the basement. And on the basement, we can take a look at the motor rooms of the 2 remaining lifts. Let's first take a look at the motor room of the smaller Leicester Controls lift. Sadly, there's no power in this building and the lift obviously doesn't work.
Leicester.
Oh, look.
Now let's take a look at the motor room of the larger Leicester Controls lift.
Same as the last one. Just slightly better for the air conditioning. It's identical.
We now got up to the ground floor and let's take a look inside of the smaller Leicester Controls lift. On the inside, this lift is very boring looking. I now got along to the larger Leicester Controls lift, and it was at this point we discovered there is actually security in this building. And we were going around this building screaming and shouting like there's no one about, and somehow security didn't hear us, and only now we came to the ground floor did security actually notice our presence, and we ran away and ran out of the building before security could grab us. So then, we now leave this office building and we now go along to Spitalfields Market near Farringdon. This market is in a very sad state as it's currently being demolished. Let's take a look around this demolition site. We now go up to a lower roof and take a look at what it looks like here. And we now go inside this building and there is an armadillo.
Armadillo. Armadillo.
But luckily we managed to avoid all of the armadillos and managed to explore what was left of this building. And there's a few interesting little bits left of this market, but sadly there isn't really much remaining. Such a sad sight as such a famous market has just been destroyed.
That's nice.